Hi, my name is Lieutenant Gary Aswalt, and welcome to an accurate tour of Incline, and all of the other nonsense that they added along with it. Let's start off in our reality, the one that doesn't gaslight me into buying a normal FPS every year only for it to turn into a Marvel movie 3 months in, with a brand new 6v6 map called Incline, taking place at a research outpost deep in the mountains of Urzikstan? Man, this country has more range than Guy Bean. Now, people only really get new things if you compare them to old things. So, for all intents and purposes, Incline is like Summit from Black Ops 1, but with the color palette of Subbase from MW2, and the layout of Grind, and Checkpoint. Hydro? A bit of the DNA of Raceway in there as well. Hotel Royal, there's a bit of Rio, meaning it's a medium-sized 3-lane map focused on one main building in the middle. In this case, it's a gondola station that, unlike most maps' middle areas, is actually less of a human jelly-filled center and more like an airlock. Somewhere that players have to run through before getting to the actual choke points on the map. This is thanks to a parked cable car in the center, blocking views from both ends and forming a little tipsy T that forces everyone either down toward the cliffside or toward the top of the building, where those with an IQ higher than the map's temperature tend to fight. But while inside the center, make sure to keep an eye out for this other cable car, where mascot suits love to camp. Probably because their masks protect them from the wind chill up there. Just below it is the outer lane, built for flanking, but it's also actually one of the longest sightlines on the map. So if you're planning on using the brand new piece of nostalgia bait, you might want to be a bit careful. This is also where that aforementioned cable car camper loves to watch, and will occasionally drop right down onto B-Dom with you when you're like 90% of the way to capturing it. What makes this area a bit more unique than others is that while there's tons of ways in and out, every path other than forward and back requires a little bit of parkour. You know, a little mantle in here, a little mantle out there, jump into the cable car, fling yourself off the mountain to spawn on the other side, etc. And on that other side, you have a road, covered in snow and perfectly shaved ice blocks that don't melt no matter how many rounds or Mountie sweat you happen to drill into them. And remember how I just said that the other side of the map was unique because of its parkour mechanics? Yeah, well, so that was kind of a lie, because this end actually has a trailer that you can run up to gain access to the rooftop in the center, and get the jump on the rest of the lobby who have been trained over the last decade and a half that unless there's a yellow tarp hanging off a ledge, you aren't allowed to climb it. So I'm gonna be honest, Incline is kind of a middle-of-the-road map to me, not gonna lie. Again. And despite the relatively small size, I've actually found it playing a bit slower than a lot of the maps in this game, which to someone like me who likes things a bit slow, methodical, and mill-simmy TM is a breath of fresh air. And now, onto our other maps. Oh, what the? In addition to Incline, Season 4 Reloaded also dropped an 8-bit version of Favela and an even grosser version of Haus, with some kind of monster-based mode. Man, remember a few years ago when we were just happy to play Prop Hunt on a daytime version of Bog? Oh, wait, what's that?
Yeah, that was back in 2016.
That was 8 years ago? Fuck me, man. Bitvela is a C-tier pun on the map Favela, where we've all taken the magic mushrooms together and been transported to Mario's actual hometown. Other than the aesthetic change, Bitvela is one-to-one exactly the same as the original map, although it doesn't quite play like it, because the devs increased everyone's jump by about 1 moon or so, letting you fly across the map with the same speed as your father when you came flying onto the delivery room floor. Now, I've seen a lot of people call this Call of Duty's Minecraft mode, but I don't know if that's entirely accurate. I mean, we aren't mining for diamond or faking a smile while our nephew shows us a dirt hut he made on his mom's iPad. Instead, Bitvela's game modes are just standard mosh pit ones, but every time that you get a kill, your head inflates a little bit, which sounds a lot more like every Warzone streamer to me. Oh, and they also give everyone on this map one of 4 different Task Force 141 skins, which means that's right, Milsim aesthetic fans, you finally won! Hell yeah! Whoop whoop! Then there's Das Gross, this time a D-tier pun on Das Haus. Oh, please pardon the footage, by the way. These maps aren't available in private matches because we're not allowed to have fun unless under the watchful eye of the engagement algorithm, and instead, the easiest way to play this map is by hopping into the new mutation mode. In Mutation, each team takes turns between being the humans, with access to their standard loadouts, and mutants, choosing between 4 different zombie-like creatures, just like real mutations. First, there's the Mutated Leaper. This is the one you'll run into almost exclusively on the other team. You get super jump, and you can see through walls, like Superman if he was evil, but not in that way. Then there's the Camouflage Sneaker, which is basically the same thing, but also the exact opposite. Next is the Contaminated Sludger, which, explodes, and Radioactive Beast, which lets you control a Hellhound, making this the 3rd update in a row where multiplayer has gotten more zombies content than zombies has. And that's where I'll end today's tour. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, check out the last one we did on Paris and Tokyo. And everyone else can exit through the gift shop, where we're selling Funko Pops of all your favorite generic-looking white soldier guys.